Hi guys! In this video I'm going to share with you my experience of freezing my eggs, or shall I say everything about oocyte cryopreservation. I will talk about an unfertilized egg freezing, in other words social freezing, but I will also say some very useful information about embryo freezing, so keep on watching to find out what it is. So grab your pen and notes and let's jump right into it. Basically I had a couple of reasons why I decided to freeze my eggs. One of them was my age. Couple of weeks before the procedure, I became 34. The other reasons were that I'm not really feeling ready to become a mom yet. I'm not in the stable relationship. Also, I don't own my own property yet, and I still want to keep focusing on my career a bit longer. In overall, if you are falling into one of these categories, then I highly recommend you to consider this procedure. You can do it at any age, even before reaching your 30. In fact, sooner is better, because when you are younger, your body keeps producing more and healthier eggs, and by the time quality, but also quantity starts to decrease. It is not precisely recommended to do it after age 40. Allegedly, for most of us, after age 35, our body starts to experience a rapid decrease of production of new follicles, and therefore it's always better to do it before that age. Of course, you can do it also afterwards, but you will most likely have to repeat this procedure multiple times, and of course the price of it will keep rising. If you are not in the serious relationship, and it is important for you to find the right partner first, before having a child. If you are in a contract with your employer, and you prefer to work on your career goals first rather than becoming a mom. If you were diagnosed with cancer, and you need to undergo chemotherapy treatments, then there can be a chance to quickly freeze your oocytes before the treatment. But it all depends how long extra time you have spare and in what part of your body the cancer was found. Be aware that the cost of this procedure might vary depending on what clinic and surgeon you decide to go with, and also what country. I started to look for the best option for me when I was 33. That was back in 2021 when all the COVID and lockdowns were happening. I didn't know how long it's gonna take until we reopened the borders, but finally I decided to go to clinic in Prague. It was mostly because it's much cheaper there, and also clinic had really good reviews. So then in the meantime, between the lockdowns, I was going to see my doctor and other specialists to find out if I'm a right candidate for this procedure. I did multiple blood tests, ultrasound, cervical screening, and just so you know, when they are checking your ultrasound, they should also check your kidneys, as it is all somehow connected. My gynecologist also sent me to do more tests, and at the end she recommended me to get vaccinated for rubella, measles and mumps. Normally we get this vaccine when we are kids, but allegedly in some cases it lasts only 10 years, and then some people like me, for example, have to repeat it. All of you future moms should get this checked, as it could cause in your future child either becoming deaf or blind if your body was impacted. And once I got my vaccine, I waited 2 months and then I went for another checks to make sure that vaccine really worked for me. My gynecologist also told me my iron levels were a bit lower, so I was taking an iron supplement for a while. Plus she also said that I'm lacking on folic acid, so I was taking that supplement too. Be careful what supplements you take, as apparently some of them which are high in antioxidants might damage your eggs. All these health tests were mostly paid back by my insurance company, but get ready extra money for it on the side just in case. At the end, all the checkups took me around 1 year. Firstly, I went to see my doctor, then gynecologist, then 2 different fertility specialists, and normally it doesn't take as long, but at the same time I was trying to improve my well-being. I was trying to eat well, sleep well, meditate and work out regularly, and I was even drinking fertility tea 1 month before the procedure. I was this close to do the surgery here in Australia, but luckily last minute they announced that the borders are reopen, and I straight away contacted the clinic in Prague and we arranged a possible date for my surgery. If I would do my procedure here in Australia, it would cost me around 10,000 Australian dollars. Plus I will have to count around $500 for the storage. While it's in Prague, it cost me around 2,300 euros. And the storage is free for first 3 years, and then I will end up paying 120 euros a year. This particular clinic has clients not only from Czechia and Slovakia, but also Italy, Australia and other countries. So they are multilingual too, and easy to communicate with. And for the comparison, I found in USA it would cost you between 14 to 17,000 American dollars. But don't forget to count on storage afterwards. And also bear in mind, there is always an option to take a loan and pay it back in an affordable intervals. Generally, it's safer to pay a bit more to make sure you get the right outcome. And yes, although I decided for a cheaper option, this clinic in Prague has really good reviews and I would trust the surgeon same as I would trust them here in Australia. And with that being said, now I'm going to talk about what to be aware of. First thing you should be aware of is that usually it's recommended to freeze about 20 eggs, so there will be a higher possibility to get at least one healthy baby out of it in the future. If they won't freeze around 20 eggs at the first go, then you should go and repeat this procedure again to get at least closer to this number, which means the price of it will keep rising. But if you're lucky to find a clinic which will charge you same price for multiple surgeries, multiple cycles, then it's great. Just don't forget to ask for this option at the very beginning. As I already mentioned and I will keep repeating, my tip to prevent to go for multiple surgeries is to keep your diet and lifestyle at the best possible level. It will then bring you to the highest possible production of your follicles, as you won't be killing them with the toxic food or stress. Additionally, ask your doctor or do your own research on the supplements which are the best for you to take to make sure you are at the best possible productive stage. During this whole procedure, since the very beginning you decide to do so, even before you take your first blood test, until the very end, which is the surgery, you should be out of birth control pills. As well, close to your date of surgery, try to avoid sexual activities, alcohol consumption and excessive workouts. And finally, here is my advice about embryo freezing, as I promised you at the beginning of this video. Basically, when you decide to freeze embryos, they are much stronger as they are groups of multiple cells compared to follicles which are just couple of cells. So in that case, embryos has higher potential to survive later after being transferred back to become a baby. But of course it is a bit tricky decision, as even though you have a sperm donor, I'm talking about your current partner, which is great, but what if it won't work out between you two? Just be aware of it, as in some countries they ask for permission before they use your frozen embryos, so if you are not with your partner anymore, it could be a problem. And the second recommendation is to pay extra for a special donor, which will uniquely offer his sperms only for your case. It is worth it for a reason to avoid an incest in the future, although chances are really low, but we never know. As I said, I began to get ready for the surgery 1 year before, just to make sure my body is in the best condition. I went for multiple checkups recommended by my doctor and specialist, which took me a couple of months. I separated 6 weeks off from my work and stayed in Europe whole time just in case. Although I've been said 3 weeks would be more than enough for my hormonal stimulation and more checkups. I just wanted to make sure I have extra time in case something would go wrong with my period, etc. In that particular day of my surgery, I spent in the hospital about 2 hours, but surgery took roughly between 10 to 15 minutes. I would like to give you one more advice. Record everything what they say, so then when you get home, you can listen to these instructions again and follow them properly. I've obtained this type of stimulation protocol to keep my hormonal injections in track. Each of us is different, and doctor will adjust your hormonal injections in the way to work the best for you. I've been told it is very important to track the time when you get your period, as if you get it after 2 p.m, it might be counted as you got it just the following day. If that makes sense what I just said. But they will explain you everything in the hospital. And it usually takes about 2 weeks for you to keep injecting hormones in order to make as many follicles to grow. If you are asking what OPU means, it is in short oocyte pickup. I've been told I had to keep some of my injections refrigerated at all the time, but just in the mild cold temperature, so I kept them in the fridge door. Please don't leave your used syringes around, but bring them to the nearest pharmacy so they can recycle it for you. And on the other hand, some of the other injections had to stay at the room temperature. It is also important to inject your hormones at the time your doctor said for you previously. To be honest, I was not brave enough to inject myself, so I asked my mom or my sister for a help. And the process of injecting was of course every day, by each day switching between left and right side of my belly. And I also wrote down in my stimulation protocol on what side we injected what day, just in case if I would forget. When I got to the point of using 2 injections at the same day, I was applying them at the same site, but of course not the same spot. And also in this period of these 2 weeks, make sure you are nearby the hospital, as they might keep asking you to come for more checkups such as ultrasound, etc. You shouldn't be eating, neither drinking or even chewing gum close to the surgery. Next day in the morning, in a day of surgery, when you arrive to the clinic, they will give you some type of anesthesia to make you relax. Entire surgery is super quick and seems super simple. You will be blackout for like 2 hours, while all surgery takes just about 10 to 15 minutes. They will insert the tool with the attached needle into your vagina, and with the suction device, they will suck all your mature follicles. Once they wake you up, they will keep you resting for half an hour, and they will ask you if you want to take some painkillers. When I was close to my departure from the patient room, doctor came to talk to me, and he said they removed 27 of my follicles, but he also said they are still separating the good ones and the bad ones. I've been told to keep drinking heaps of water, ideally 3 to 4 liters, to clean up my body from anesthesia. You can use more painkillers if needed. You should be resting as much as possible that day. Someone should drive you home, and after a couple of hours you can have a light lunch. I had, for example, a chicken broth. Keep resting all day in the bed, watching TV or reading a book. At the end they froze for me 19 follicles, and they froze them in couples, and of course one of them is single. I did the research, and they should be stored in a safety freezer filled with nitrogen with temperature minus 196 degrees Celsius. And apparently there is always someone who looks after it. I've been told my eggs can stay frozen up to 10 years, then the company will have to get rid of them, but I can also ask to get them demolished before or just donate them. I'm still trying to keep living healthy lifestyle, so my ovaries stay productive as long as possible, and of course I will try to get pregnant first naturally, so this is basically just my backup plan. To be honest, I freak out because doctor said he's gonna remove all my eggs, but basically he just removed all the mature big enough follicles and he left the eggs alone, so the leftover eggs can become follicles in the future. Bear in mind, nothing is guaranteed. Studies show at the moment it's about 74 to 78% possibility you get one healthy child out of 20 eggs which you previously managed to freeze at age of 35 years old. While is freezing them at the older age gets this percentage to decrease. It is still a progress compared to a decade ago, when chances were much lower. Don't forget that your current eggs keep aging with you, but the ones which are frozen stays the age when you froze it. In my case, they are 34 years old. In case you ladies losing your hope because your doctor told you that you are not the right candidate, then I really recommend you to go and see another specialist too. Make your own research, check how to improve your well-being to become a right candidate for egg freezing. It's all about your health and patience to find right doctors and to do right things. Go through many questions and researches, etc. If you are 100% sure you don't want to or you can't afford having kids in your mid-30s, then start to organize this all freezing process. Especially fix your health as soon as possible. I would say at least in age of 30 you should stop smoking, start to exercise, reduce alcohol, sleep well, watch out your diet and stress levels. Before I went to see my specialist, I got ready these questions for him to be answered. I really hope this video was helpful for you, and I really wish you all the best with your decisions. And for your future kids, I wish all the health and happiness. And if you wanna know if I ever use my frozen eggs in the future or if I'm gonna get pregnant naturally, then don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye.